this idea of like you can just kind of create a thing out of nothing. And that, to me, that's very magical. When I was a kid, I was always getting in trouble because I was drawing outside in the margins of the coloring books because I didn't want to paint or draw what was already drawn. And in my head, I always had this feeling that something was missing. What I wanted to color didn't exist, so I had to like make it. That's sort of something that's always kind of driven me, is that there's something missing in the world and I need to create it. So I went to college for like art education, painting and drawing, and then I kind of took a little break from college part one, and then I played in bands and kind of goofed around. And basically when you're in a band and you have an art background, what you now are doing is you're making merch for your band and you're making posters. And I started getting really sick of feeling like I was just making photo collages, and so I decided I'm gonna draw the next poster that I do. And I was always like really afraid to do that on a poster because so many people are better artists than I am, but I kind of knew that whatever I was gonna do just had to be mine. And so that's kind of what kind of pushed me back into illustrating. I started really kind of getting a passion for it and realizing that it was sort of my voice in design. It's kind of where my passion for art and movies and all of that stuff kind of gets to live, is in graphic design and in illustration. I had a high school art teacher who told me I had to pick who I listened to as far as critique goes. There's just some people that aren't going to get your stuff. That really shaped me. You can't create if you don't listen. I think like the key to being creative is like listening and empathy. You know, whether you're creating something for yourself or someone else, like you need to listen to yourself, your brain, and how you feel something needs to look. I think that that's something that a lot of creatives struggle against. I mean, we live in this kind of time where there's this whole like people are constantly comparing their work to somebody else's work. You know, the imposter syndrome is taking over, and that's sort of like the death of creativity. Once you start judging yourself against somebody else and you start cutting out those instincts that brought you to creativity in the first place, listen to your own voice, you know? I think one thing that's like always really rewarding about art, when you start like making your original stuff and then people are interested in it and then they buy it, it kind of feels like it's not real. Those things are pretty awesome. You know, something about making your own original thing and then it goes out in the world and makes other people happy.